cat badge usually sits on a bulldozer. Here, it's bolted to a spare tire instead. Caterpillar builds machines that move earth for a living. This 6x6 borrows that badge, that yellow, and apparently that confidence. But does anything from the construction side actually show up in how this thing is built? Or is this just excavator paint on a camper shell? My take on whether this earns the cat name depends entirely on what you actually need this vehicle to do. Over the next few minutes, we'll walk the exterior, step through the living quarters, and unpack the engineering philosophy that decides whether this badge is earned or borrowed. The detail that matters most here isn't the yellow paint or the spare tire mounted on the door. It's that the same screen showing tire pressure and axle status also runs the generator, water heater, and cabin power. Construction gear lives or dies by operators seeing every system on one display, and that logic here means catching a dead battery before it strands you off-grid. Most motorhome panels split those readouts across separate apps and gauges. Unified Systems display, the dash screen pulls axle status, tire pressure, generator load, and water heater state into one interface. On a remote 6x6 build, this catches a failing system during the morning walkaround instead of after you're already off-grid. Most expedition builds still split battery and drivetrain readouts across two screens. That logic carries into the cabin. The galley runs a stainless sink, an induction cooktop, and a built-in oven with a digital display, all trimmed in the same yellow accent that wraps the exterior. A cat-branded coffee maker and matching storage totes sit ready on the counter, doubling as tool case-style cargo organization. That's a working galley that outclasses most sprinter-based conversions, where counter space usually gets sacrificed for tank capacity. The hexagonal side windows sit higher on the wall than standard cutouts, keeping direct sun off the counter at midday while still framing the terrain outside. Most expedition conversions run full-height windows that turn the galley into a greenhouse by early afternoon. Angled window shading. The hexagonal window cut sits above eye level and angles inward, blocking high midday sun while keeping the lower sightline open. On a desert route, that cuts direct heat load into the galley without a physical awning. Most camper conversions rely on external awnings that have to be deployed and retracted at every stop. The coffee maker sits right against the window glass where afternoon heat and sun hit hardest for a machine full of electronics. It's a placement that photographs well but won't hold up to a week of desert driving. That same tension follows outside. Up front, the Cat grill badge sits above LED headlights and a roof-mounted light bar spanning the windshield header. Off-road tires fill wide flares on all three axles, rear pair set close together. Angular gray cladding wraps the lower rockers, breaking up the gloss yellow above. The stance rides high on a portal-style suspension setup built for real ground clearance, not showroom height. At the rear, a spare tire the size of the front wheel mounts to the door with the Cat badge at its center. Every panel reads as one shape, so the yellow and gray split doesn't feel bolted on. That same restraint carries into what's under the floor. Estimated powertrain: turbo diesel inline 6, 450 horsepower, 810 pound-feet torque, 10-speed automatic, 3 locking differentials standard. That torque curve favors towing a loaded cabin, not highway sprints. Portal axle ground clearance axles mount below the hub centerline, lifting the differential clear of rocks and ruts. On a loaded 6x6, that keeps the drivetrain's most vulnerable part out of contact with the terrain. The Earthroamer XVHD runs standard geometry, so its differential sits exposed at the tire's lowest point. The Unicat MD series matches ground clearance but skips the unified display. That gap sets up the verdict. If this concept reached production, expect a price range near $350,000 to $420,000, in line with fully custom 6x6 expedition builds. The Earthroamer XVHD starts near $500,000 and runs standard axle geometry with no portal clearance at all. If you need genuine ground clearance with a livable cabin built around one unified control system, this concept proves the engineering case holds up. If lounge-level polish matters more than portal axles, the Scania R Ridgehold 6x6 is the better fit. What earns the CAT badge here isn't the horsepower number, it's that the same monitoring discipline built into a bulldozer actually shows up in how this cabin watches its own systems. That CAT badge on the spare tire isn't just paint borrowed from a bulldozer. It's proof the same systems discipline that runs a job site now runs this cabin's water heater and generator too. Would you trust a CAT badge on a motorhome the way you trust it on a job site? Next up, we're tearing into the 2027 Ram Volt Claw 8x8 and its twin turbine power unit. Subscribe so you don't miss it.